Lesson 63, Singular and Plural. Catherine, as I write these books, it occurs to me that many people may not have studied a language before, and sometimes we take for granted how much knowledge or how much training people may have. And so sometimes I like to just cover some of these really simple concepts just so our readers have the grammar knowledge they need and they know the different grammatical terms, even for very simple things. Something even as simple as singular and plural. There may be someone out there who isn't fully clear on that, even though it's very simple. So let's take a moment to talk about it.
Yeah, because these concepts, although when you know them, they sound very simple and straightforward, there are grammar terms involved. And so it does help to kind of go over the terms just to make sure that there's not added confusion just because we're using a word that's unfamiliar.
And there might be homeschoolers or kids using the book who could use some review on this. And so basically singular means that there's one of something, and plural means more than one. And so when you're reading a sentence in ancient Greek and you are trying to get the meaning out of it, this becomes a big deal. You need to know which words are plural and which ones are singular, whether it's a noun, whether it's a verb, whether it's a pronoun, regardless of what it is, you need to be aware of singular and plural.
Definitely.
And we're going to see that play out a lot more as we go through the rest of the book. So in this particular lesson, for each exercise, you have to do two things. You have to figure out what the subject of the sentence is, and then figure out if it's singular or plural. And this is really just an awareness-building exercise. So number one, we have the car is red. The subject of the sentence is the word car. It's not really doing anything. It's just being a car. The verb is a verb of being. And the car is just sitting there being red. And so the subject is the word car, and the word car is singular. There's only one car. If it were plural, it would be cars, and we would have to change the verb too. We would have to say the cars are red. We'd have to get the verb to agree with the subject. But the word car is singular, and so the word is a singular verb.
Right. And in number 2, we have ice cream cones. The subject is we, but we is a plural word. And then have is the verb, and that is also plural in this sense. So we have ice cream cones. The subject is we, and it is a plural word because there's more than one of us. If it were singular, I would say I.
Right. When you say we, it's one person speaking on behalf of a group. It's one person referring to a group of people, we, as a plural. So that's definitely plural. In number 3, flowers are pretty. The word flowers is the subject of the sentence. It's not really doing anything. It's not an action verb. It's just being pretty. And so the word are is a verb of being. And the word flowers is plural. Notice it gets that plural verb are. It doesn't say flowers is pretty. It says flowers are pretty. So you have the plural noun as the subject and a plural verb to go along with it.
In number 4, I like blueberry pie. The word I is the subject, and I is a singular word, singular pronoun. Because when I say I'm just talking about me, and I'm only one person. So I, and then like is the verb that goes with it, and like here is the singular sense of like.
So as you translate Greek, and as you work with the different nouns, verbs, and pronouns, keep in mind which ones are singular and which ones are plural, and that's going to help you coordinate the words in your mind and see how they work together. That's going to be a big deal as we move forward in our Greek studies.
And it becomes particularly important when you get longer sentences. The sentences in this book are pretty short and simple, but when you get very long sentences with multiple nouns and pronouns and verbs, then you really need to pay attention to singular and plural because it will tell you which nouns go and pronouns go with which verbs.